XRP has recently broken out of a long-term, year-and-a-half long downtrend, and I'm going to tell you in this video what that breakout could mean in terms of some near-term and long-term price targets. I'm going to be going over some of the technical analysis from some of the experts on Twitter, what they're predicting for XRP with or without a settlement or a favorable ruling from Judge Analisa Torres in the case of Ripple versus the SEC. Also, we're going to be talking about what Coinbase is doing with their case against the SEC and how it relates to Ripple, as well as another announcement regarding Corium, which, if you remember from last year, was part of a big airdrop. Well, it is finally now going live. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, we are covering Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join the Late Night Grind community, and if you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. If you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to turn on those bell notification icons. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So let's first start by talking about the Corium mainnet launch, which just happened a few hours ago as of recording this video. Out in Las Vegas, they held an event to mark their occasion in which they've been waiting for this mainnet launch to happen. Well, it was supposed to happen in July of 2022. Didn't exactly happen, but it finally happened now. Now, Corium, if you're not familiar, Corium is a new Layer 1 blockchain platform that I talked about a lot on the channel last year because it was related to Sologenic. Who was Sologenic? Well, Sologenic, their dev team is the one that came up with Corium. Sologenic was also the first NFT marketplaces to launch on the XRP ledger. Now, of course, Sologenic and the Sologenic DEX handles the NFT marketplace. They also handle trading in different XRP ledger pairs. And of course, now Corium, which is interoperable with almost every other blockchain, including a bridge to the XRP ledger. Now, if you have Corium, if you have a Solo token, if you have XRP, you are eligible for some airdrop. And that's going to be ongoing for some time. It actually started last year, Corium doing a year-long airdrop, basically if you hold core tokens, Solo tokens, or the XRP coin. So if you have any of those, keep your eyes out on your digital wallet for those airdrops, because it looks like as of right now, Corium has been trading at about 40 cents per core token. And with the mainnet launch and potentially what XRP could be doing in the next 1 to 3 months, well, that Corium being related to the XRP ledger could also see a big boost from it. Just something to keep an eye out from. Now, before I get into some of the price targets of XRP, I wanted to talk about the Ripple versus the SEC case, because just recently, just the other day, the SEC fired back at Ripple in a response in which Ripple had previously submitted to Judge Analisa Torres a motion of supplemental authority, which basically went over what a judge recently said about the SEC, or to the SEC, in the Voyager bankruptcy court case. Now, in that case, the judge basically slammed the SEC for not providing any rules of the road, any clarity to the crypto and digital asset space whatsoever. In fact, several times made comment and made mention of that. Well, Ripple, of course, took that information, put it into a letter that they wrote to the judge. Well, the SEC was none too happy with that because they fired back, and from what they claim in their letter is that Ripple shamelessly mischaracterized those statements from the judge in that court case and basically said they're using it to try to back up their floundering fair notice defense, which they think is not going to hold up. But of course, as we know it, at this point, it's basically laughable that the SEC is calling somebody shameless, especially when you read the statements from the judge in the Voyager case. It's absolutely spot on, and Ripple has had an absolute masterclass in turning things like that into things that will support their case and in their favor. And somebody who's been keeping an eye on that is somebody who works for Coinbase. That being Paul Grewal, who is actually the chief legal officer at Coinbase, and he's going to be pretty busy coming up because they just received a Wells notice from the SEC, which basically means the SEC has told them that they are going to be investigated heavily. Well, Coinbase was none too happy, and they've responded in kind, and I'm going to read you some of the tweets from Coinbase's chief legal officer, and I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. So in response to that, Paul sent out this series of tweets. Over the past 9 months, Coinbase has met with the SEC more than 30 times, sharing details of our business to build a path to registration. During this time, the SEC hasn't given basically zero feedback on what to change or how to register. Instead, today we received a Wells notice, a notice that they're being investigated, and the SEC will be producing an enforcement action against them more than likely. When Coinbase filed to go public in 2021, our S-1 described our business in as much detail, including 57 references to staking and the details of our asset listing process. The SEC approved us to go public knowing those details. Now they've changed their mind on what is allowed. In 2018, we acquired 2 broker-dealer licenses in an effort to become regulated by the SEC. These licenses are currently dormant, and we've been unable to activate them with the SEC for digital asset securities. Last July, we filed a petition with the SEC calling for more regulatory clarity. We have yet to receive a response on our petition. For comparison, over the many years, we've been able to successfully become a licensed and regulated crypto business in a number of other jurisdictions around the world, including Singapore, Ireland, Australia, and Germany. We've also been able to successfully become regulated by other U.S. federal regulator, obtaining our DCM and DCO license from the CFTC, and by many U.S. state regulators. The SEC remains the sole outlier here. We don't list securities. Of the thousands plus crypto assets Coinbase has reviewed over the years, only roughly 240 of those have met our standards to list on our platform. We believe a large number of crypto securities also exist and should be available to register and trade on SEC registered brokerages and exchanges, a point we've made repeatedly in our discussions. The truth is today there is no clear rulebook for the SEC on crypto, and efforts to engage with the SEC are met with silence or enforcement actions. Remember, come in and talk to us. They've not allowed a good faith rulemaking process with the industry and required under the APA. At times, the SEC and CFTC don't agree on the definition of a commodity or a security. For instance, the CFTC chair said he thinks Ethereum was a commodity, while the SEC chair has hinted that Ethereum might be a security. Even when giving us our Wells notice, the SEC wouldn't specify assets, giving them concern on what arguments we've made on staking are wrong. Instead, we're simply told to consider the chair's generic statements. It's hard to throw the rulebook at an entire economic sector when there's no rulebook, and the people respond with the rulebook can't even agree with themselves on what the rulebook should say, even as we have asked for a rulebook. So what happens next? Well, we avail ourselves to the court system to finally get some clarity for the crypto industry in the US, ironically establishing some case law that may be our best shot at getting the regulatory clarity this industry deserves. Now, Paul Grewal also made a statement in an interview that he is very impressed with Ripple's lawyers and how they put together their case. So obviously he has been paying attention, and he's probably going to be paying even more attention to this Ripple case as it comes down to a decision by Judge Torres. All right, so let's finally get into some price predictions and some price analysis for XRP. Because, like I said at the beginning of this video, XRP has broken out of a more than a year-long downturn. In fact, since April of 2021, so nearly 2 years of this downturn, it's broken out of on the daily. Now, what does that mean? Well, it basically means that there is a candle that is going to be heading north. In fact, it already has a little bit. There are several analysts on Twitter that I follow, including a blockchain backer, including eGreg Crypto and Dark Defender, who I mentioned several times as he does very good XRP analysis. So what are they talking about now that this downtrend has actually been broken? Well, the next price target should be right around 57 cents. I've seen many people targeting that. Now, what happens next? Well, because the price action for XRP is literally matching exactly, including the fractals and including the breakout and including the downtrend breakouts, are matching exactly those in 2017, in which XRP went from 22 cents to $3.80 in 22 days. Now, a lot of this analysis does show that yes, the charts are literally matching and mirroring those same numbers from back in 2017 when it had its huge breakout. However, the macroeconomic situation right now is very, very different. The banking sector is on the verge of collapsing. Interest rates are rising all over the place. And this is a completely separate economic time as it was back in 2017. And of course, you have the Ripple versus the SEC case looming on a major decision, albeit most people seem to be placing their bets that XRP is going to go north because Ripple is going to get its regulatory clarity. In fact, some said you better be prepared for a moon landing for XRP because it may be the only cryptocurrency with regulatory clarity in a time when Gary Gensler is literally going after anything and everything other than Bitcoin. Okay, so what I've seen from some of these technical analysis is that you have to look at the week ending, which is Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. The week ending will show another breakout of this downtrend on the weekly, not just the daily. That in and of itself is going to be bullish. The next price target of 57 cents is upcoming. Once it breaks 57 cents, the next price target, according to a couple of these analysts, would be approximately $1.33, although it may take several months to get there. Although I did see one who going by a fractal and going by the 2017 mirroring said, well, if you go along with that and the Fibonacci retracement levels, it should actually hit about $4.60 by April. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen because we may not even have an official decision by Judge Torres by then, because in my opinion, you're probably going to need some of that to go to those price levels. But after that, some of these price targets go even higher. Now, we've talked on this channel many times that the fact that XRP should be between $10 and $13 currently. Now that is because of the major price suppression that has been going on against XRP, largely because of the Ripple versus the SEC case. In fact, the blockchain backer did some amazing technical analysis on it on a video from probably about a year ago now that was absolutely spot on in the price suppression. So if it is supposed to be $10 to $13 right now, the next price target on its way into 2024, if there's a crypto bull market or maybe just if Ripple wins, well, that price target, how about $27? If you follow some of these technical analysis that follow the Elliott wave theories along with the Fibonacci levels, and of course, some of these fractals matching exactly, that $27 fits in perfectly on the charts. However, charts are not market sentiment, and that is what we're going to need to be gearing some of our predictions on as we go forward. So look for Sunday night as this week closes, and XRP solidifies that breakout of a downtrend. May see a little bit of a pullback as a retest, but in my opinion, we're probably going to see in the next couple of weeks some sort of northern price action for XRP. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. And like I said, if there is any more news on the Ripple case, the Coinbase case, and of course, price action on XRP, go ahead and follow me on Twitter as I post and retweet a lot of the information about those things over there. If you want to have a conversation with me, you can also do that on Twitter as well. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.